Welcome back. In this part, we'll explore more powerful selection tools in Photoshop, including the Lasso Tool, Object Selection Tool, and Quick Selection Tool. These tools help you select complex shapes and subjects much faster. Let's dive in and see how they work in real projects. In the previous video, we explored selections using the Marquee tools. If you haven't watched part 1, I recommend checking it out before continuing. Now, I have this image. First, I'll remove the background by simply clicking the button. And then I'll remove the layer mask as well. And I want to remove these leaves. To do that, I need to make a selection around them. I could use the Marquee tool, but in some situations, objects are very close to each other. For example, if I add a flower close to the leaves, using the Marquee tool might select both the leaves and the flower, which we don't want. So in this case, I'm using the Lasso tool. The Lasso tool allows freehand selection, which means I can carefully select only the leaves without touching nearby objects. To make a selection with the Lasso tool, click and hold the mouse, draw around the object, and release the mouse when you reach the starting point to close the selection. If you want to make multiple selections, hold the Shift key and continue selecting as many areas as needed. This tool is very useful for removing unwanted objects, duplicating selections, or transforming specific parts of an image. Remember to deselect once you're done. You can deselect by clicking anywhere outside the selection, or by using the shortcut Ctrl or Command D. Now that I've removed the leaves, I want to duplicate some flowers to fill the gap. For this, I'm again using the Lasso tool to make a selection. Once the selection is ready, select the Move tool, then hold the Alt key, click, and drag the selected flower. Holding the Alt key while clicking and dragging allows you to duplicate the selection. Notice that the duplicated object stays on the same layer. This happens because we're copying only the selected area, not the full layer. Now take a look at this image. This origami paper boat has straight edges and sharp corners with no curves. In this case, using the regular Lasso tool isn't ideal because it's better suited for curved or freehand selections. For objects with straight lines, the Polygonal Lasso tool works much better. To use it, simply click once to set a starting point, then click again to add straight points along the edges. Keep adding points until you reach the end. And when you connect the last point back to the starting point, the selection is created automatically. This tool gives you clean, accurate selections for objects with sharp angles and straight shapes. It's perfect for selecting objects like buildings, boxes, or paper shapes. Let's explore another selection tool, the Quick Selection tool. In this image, I want to select only this cute smiley balloon from the group. I'll choose the Quick Selection tool and gently brush over the balloon. To change the brush size, I use the open and close bracket keys. If extra areas get selected by mistake, I hold the Alt key and brush over them to remove the selection. Once the selection looks good, I make a layer copy of the balloon. Now this object is ready to use in any graphic design project. Here is another very useful selection tool called the Object Selection Tool. In this image, we have multiple objects placed close to each other. When you want to select a specific object quickly, this tool saves a lot of time. Simply choose the Object Selection tool and move your cursor over the object. As you hover, Photoshop automatically detects the object and highlights the selection area. You can either hover to preview the selection or click once to make the selection active. Photoshop uses AI to understand object boundaries, so the selection is usually very accurate. If you don't get an exact selection while hovering, simply click and drag around the object area. This helps Photoshop understand what you want to select and gives you a more accurate result. Once the object is selected, you can refine it further using other selection tools. This way, you always get clean and precise selections for your design work. This tool is especially helpful when working with complex images that have many elements, because you don't need to draw the selection manually. That's it for this video on selection tools in Photoshop. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. If this video helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Photoshop tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.